Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube fan film reaction. And V-Man is down there ruining my intro, so we're still going to keep going because it is fan film reaction time, and I am joined, of course, by my Trekkie in arms, Major Rage. How you doing?
Doing great. Proud to be here. Excited to check out the next round of films from these group.
And down below me is the Stan Lee of fan films himself, the Ayatollah of Trekanola, the Stutelberg enthusiast. V-Man, how you doing?
I couldn't be happier. Let me tell you, man.
So what we've been doing recently is we've been going through Mark Stutelberg's fan films. He sent us a playlist, so we picked out some. Will you stop? He keeps laughing. Just be. he just okay. So he sent us a bunch of fan films, and so we said that we would go through and do our fan film reactions of them. First couple, not so favorable, in from myself, Zam, and the Major Rage. So we got V-Man to join us on this one. If the Stanley of fan films can find it, he will find it. So going into this one, this new film that we're going to be reviewing this time is one of three parts called Agents of Destiny. It has got about 3,700 views for part one. And so let me bring this up here and then we'll get started. You boys ready?
Yep, absolutely.
Ready.
All right, just make sure, let me know, just kind of shake your head if you can hear this when it gets started. All right, here we go. Okay. USS.
So nice to be seeing you.
It's good to see you too, Vlad. You're putting your knowledge to good use, I hope.
Yes, I've been working with a scientific research team here on the station. We're working on a very advanced theory of mine.
It's a good uniform.
Time as a quantum state, as well as with the associated particles called a chronoton.
Oh, chronoton. Oh, what are those? Those are old school Romulan vessels, or those TOS era.
They took those out of mothballs if they've got a motion picture era outfit on.
I don't. Well, we didn't see Romulans very much. Oh, wow, dude, that chair. Did you see it?
Fire. Helm.
I thought it was going to break off its base.
Order the Rokan and the Volner to concentrate on the Eagle. Tactical. Target the station until the shields
I
are down.
kind of dig those Romulan ships though. Those are I've never seen those ones before.
I'd have. There are TOS era Romulan vessels that do look different. I've seen them in like board games my dad used to collect. Those might be it, and I think they were TOS motion picture era.
Helm, get us out of shock range.
Set a course out of the system. Warp speed.
Ooh.
I am kind of tripped out by that chair though. The chair and the person, that was kind of.
Yeah. Oh no!
So far, I must say, liking it much better than what we've seen previously.
Oh. TOS uniforms again.
Yes, sir, that was us, but I've changed since then.
You seem very confident of yourself.
Although, based on your actions, your pardon is granted. Upon request of Captain Banner, you will not be allowed to stay aboard the
That's
USS.
Ron Seipel. He played Commander Tate in the Melbourne series.
Glad to have you back aboard.
Good guy.
Stay there.
Here's hoping that we'll be serving together for a long time.
Unlike that Mirror Menard character, he's not a good character.
Actually, I'm just manning as a straw while Captain Banner's negotiating a treaty with the Staldes.
Top-notch villain.
That might prove to be
From the Antilles.
as the Stalves have a reputation for being.
I like that Vulcan character, the Vulcan engineer.
You know what? Seeing a Vulcan in a red uniform is just odd. Like, you never saw that.
Yeah.
They were always in blue.
Blue. Science, yeah.
Balana's assistant in Voyager is the one exception I can think of to that. He's an engineering yellow.
Ooh. Oh, that was a weird nightmare. Ooh, Utopia Planitia. I always imagine Utopia Planitia. Oh,
Commander Elberg.
Yes. How can
I can't remember his name, but I know he's.
I'm sorry to
David
wake you
Chang.
up this
Yeah, that's right.
hour,
You've worked with him a
but
bunch.
we have some
Yeah.
news that I think you might want to hear.
From Star Trek Fan Films International.
Yes.
See, and I love,
worry,
I do like Michael's uniforms
our
because that's
ships
actually a cross
were on a
between,
scouting mission in
it's
the
from the
Belfort sector
Yorktown
when they ran into
Fan
some
Films.
Velocity pirates.
It's a cross
Nothing
between
too serious,
TOS and the
but they
motion
were able
picture.
to track them back to their home
If you
base
watch the
in a
Yorktown
nearby
series, they
area.
actually did those same type of uniforms.
Space is near Stormvest Prime, isn't it?
I just like that he has a
Right.
sticky note with this with the
Pirate
flower
didn't
on
put
it
up
from
much
his
of a
daughter's
fight
kindergarten.
once the base was found, and they had a few prizes they had collected over the years.
You saying you found the...
Yes, Mr. Elberg. Although she's ripped apart, she's still in one piece. The Eagle should be able to be in Earth space dock within the next few weeks.
How can something be ripped apart and in one
We
piece
have
at the
several
same time?
upgrades for the next
Time
generation of
travel.
ships on the board
Oh,
already.
it's
both
always a
half
good
and
explanation.
full refit. I plan to have the Eagle be given what we're calling the Phase 2 refit,
Ooh.
for the moment at least.
They're like, yeah, we're going to take that dish off the front. We're going to rip it off.
If I may ask, was there any sign of the ship's senior staff?
Unfortunately not. If we do track Captain Banner and Commander Tyler down, you'll be the first to know. Unfortunately, considering how long it's been, I think we will have to consider the worst.
I understand it.
But on a brighter note, Commander, you have a new ship to prepare for.
Didn't he also play Grand Ensign Kim in a fan film?
Yep.
He never.
And
he-
he also,
oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was gonna say
Having
he
a
just
generator fix would be of use to both of us.
Harry Kim
We'd
never
get to leave the
advanced. He just
planet,
went from
and
Lieutenant Ensign
we'd
to
have our
Commander
base power
Ensign
back.
to Captain Ensign to Grand Admiral Ensign.
I'll consider
Well,
it.
he also to play that joke out even further in the 32nd century. For my final film, he plays Ensign Kim in the 32nd century. To spoil it for those who haven't seen it, or by the time this comes out, it should be out by then.
Brother Brennan, there is a transmission for you.
Utopia Planitia requesting permission to dock.
This is Mars Fleet Yard. You have permission to land in Dock 7.
So they were trying to make a Bridger uniform for the TOS, the red ones, right? Like from TOS to the motion picture.
Yeah, like a bridged type uniform. Yeah, that's what they. Because initially, like Yorktown had shot a lot of the landing party stuff in the 1980s, and that's the fan series that had George Takei on it. And then they restarted shooting like bits and pieces over the course of like, however long it's been. And they finally released it. I think it was this past year, John Atkins. And that was the uniform that they had come up with because they felt that it was kind of a good crossover between TOS and TMP.
Prepare a boarding party.
It's probably a lot cheaper to do it that way since TOS uniforms were a little bit more available than TMP at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could probably, you can get away with buying TMP, no problem, but doing it that way, it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Although I miss the ship and her crew, the monks of Pollux have taught me much.
I'm confused about the waistband. Is that just like?
I think we have some time.
Is that like
the full refit they have in store for
one of those fashion choices they thought would be popular in the 23rd century or 22nd century?
I don't know.
So window dressings will.
To me, every time I see those type of vans like that, it always screams Mirror Universe,
Mm-hmm.
What is the status of the boarding party?
Oh, that's on a set.
Yeah, that probably would have been Kingsland, Georgia.
I'm assuming everything is offline because the ship is still not refit. I was thinking to myself, why is none of this on? And I'm like, oh wait, that's probably because it's still in dry dock and it's still need to be refit. Wow, she looked really startled before she got up. Makos!
What the hell was that? I don't know, sir. The intruder just transported through the lower decks.
Notice the TMP phaser.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's actually the Wrath of Khan phaser, but
What's your name, Lieutenant? Lieutenant Ryan, sir. I'll keep up the search on deck 16.
Good. I'll have a security team come down here to help you.
Thank you, sir.
wait, so they just left the 2 Romulans right there?
Mm-hmm.
We have an intruder in the area.
That's not a security concern at all.
Lieutenant Ryan just walked down the corridor.
Sir, there's no Lieutenant Ryan assigned to the Eagle.
Those damn changelings.
No personnel of that description appears on ship or station manifest at this time.
Computer. Play recording file from section B7 security cameras. 1 hour ago.
Working.
Computer. Can you cross-reference the time of arrival of the 2 figures in the security footage?
Negative. Time-lapse and tracking of first appearance are missing from ship's security recordings.
Cause?
Unknown. 97% chance of tampered data files.
Computer. Play the farthest possible records of this Lieutenant Ryan.
Oi, laddie.
Is he a temporal agent?
End of recording.
Do a cross-reference search for his face on Starfleet records.
Working. 2 images found in historical records.
Historical records?
Following image, November 2nd, 1968, Vietnam. Caption, Mitchell Ryan.
Fascinating. Play the second file.
Date, May 6th, 2069. SS Valiant on nuclear strike mission to Kaziti Prime.
Is it possible that they're all related?
Unknown.
Who are you, Mr. Ryan?
Oh!
My apologies, Commander Elberg. I know I sort of kidnapped you, but let me assure you, it's completely necessary.
What is this? Who are you?
It's all right, Commander Elberg. I'm sure you're a bit confused.
You could say that's a bit of an understatement.
Calm down, calm down. My name is Agent Ryan.
Called it.
Agent Ryan? I thought it was Lieutenant Ryan. Or should I call you Private Mitchell?
I see you've been doing your homework. Good for you. Now, history shows that you were always good at staying one step ahead of the game.
I think it's General Hux, is what I think
Not
it is.
in any danger here. From the 31st century. You were on board the time ship USS Phoenix.
The time ship? You're telling me you're from the future?
Damn time travel!
Temporal agent, we have a bit of a problem that we need your help correcting to restore the timeline. A problem involving a close friend of yours, Mr. Zachary Benner.
Dun dun dun.
All right. Well, that's the end of part 1.
Okay.
Well, we'll start with you, Mage Rage. I thought that this was a pretty good step up. What do you think?
I I'm impressed. It was a marked improvement from what we've seen in the past from these guys. And I mean, I probably was the harshest of anyone on those. And the lighting, the acting, delivery of lines, everything has stepped up considerably. And it shows that level of love for Trek that, you know, you want to see out of a fan film. It's not just amateur hour with Star Trek uniforms on.
All right. Oh, Mr. V-Man.
Well, the thing about it is, like, you've got ships in there that we don't see very often, like the Romulan ones. You mentioned that you had you've seen it like on a board game or whatnot. Anytime you have a ship in there that's not just your typical, you know, Romulan bird of prey or Klingon, you know, D7, you know, you see something that's interesting, like instantly you get, you know, kudo points for that, you know. You know, you've got uniforms in there that aren't seen every day, and that's something that Michael does that's good. He pulls from sources that aren't necessarily, you know, always you know, canon per se. So again, points for that. I think that's very good. You're pulling from two different eras, which I think is kind of cool, and kind of meshing it together. You got use of green screen, which it's not always easy to do green screen well. And in a lot of fan films, you can always see the green haze around them, or you can see the lighting doesn't quite match. There was one shot, I forget which one it was. It was the science officer, and he's, I don't know what he was doing at the time. I forget, you know, because the whole film, you couldn't really tell that was green screened. I mean, obviously you could, because you're like, well, they didn't build that set, obviously, but you know, it was done very well. And I think the whole thing with the, you know, at the end with the 31st century time ship stuff in the background, that was done, you know, green screened, you know, really well. So for me, I think for a fan film with no budget, everything was done exceptionally well. And that's not even looking at shooting on set, you know, with or without power. You know, like you said, they're in dry dock, so they probably don't have sections of the ship with power. That's excusable. But it was shot, you know, it looked very nice for what they had to work with, which was probably no budget, or shot. A lot of times films like these, like if Josh goes down from the Avalon universe and I need something, I'll be like, hey man, would you mind taking a couple of your actors and shooting something for me on the side? You know, and that's probably what was done here. I don't know if it was the case, but if that was the case, they're usually done at the help of someone else. So you really can't, you know, you're kind of at the, you know, the mercy of someone else's, you know, hey, this is what we could get you. Again, I don't know if that was the case here, but either way, it looked really great, considering the fact that most fan films of this budget don't. So everything I thought worked wonderfully visually. Storyline wise, I'm intrigued. Like what the hell's going on with this agent guy? You know, so I'm intrigued to watch part 2. Usually, I'm looking at my watch, going, God, what is this? You know, that wasn't the case here. So,
okay, yeah, I definitely agree that this was a marked improvement from their first 3 fan films that we watched the past couple weeks. So, and I am a little bit more intrigued with this one. With Agents of Destiny, we have part 2 and part 3. So, yeah, I really am looking forward to. Seeing what this has to offer. This is not a bad idea. You know what they got going on. Like, I know that, you know, everyone gives a temporal Cold War and Enterprise ish, you know, gives it shit, but at the same time, if it's done right, it's actually kind of intriguing. And I know Enterprise sometimes did not do it right. This actually seemed a little bit more like they might be going on the way. And I mean, I wore this shirt not even realizing that we'd be talking temporal Cold War type stuff here. So, hey, all right, so we're gonna mark it. So I'm gonna mark this one. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because it is definitely a marked improvement from what we've seen before. So I'm definitely impressed with where they're going now. V-Man?
I'd say realistically, I'd say probably an 8 out of 10. Given the fact that the first time I watched one of his films, I said it was utter dog shit. I said there was nothing redeeming about it, and this one, I mean, this is, I'd say 8 out of 10 for this one. It makes me excited to watch the next one. So if you can make me excited about your next Trek, that's pretty good. It's not perfect, but for what they had to, budget wise, I mean, you pulled out all the stops for this, I felt. So
all right, Major Rage, take it home.
Solid 7.
Okay.
Definitely marked improvement, like you said, Cheeto. Like you said, V-Man. Intriguing plot. I'm also curious as where they're going with this. I'm looking forward to finishing up. And last time we sat down to do this for the channel, I was wishing it was over. Definitely, very impressive visually for what you have to work with when you're financing yourself and doing it on your spare time. And I always respect the effort that goes in, but this showed love for your product.
Okay. Well, with that all being said, everybody, thank you very much for joining us for this fan film. We are going to be back next week to do Agents of Destiny Part 2. V-Man, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you'll be there. Major Rage, always a pleasure to have you on. And
always great to be here.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next fan film. We'll catch you later.